I know how crazy it feels when the person that we love and that we've invested all of our energy and all of our time in, all of our self in, to the point where we literally have almost no sense of self. Unhealthy, by the way, codependency, possibly likely. Something to read about, look at, and explore. I know how damaging to our soul it is when we so desperately want that person that's supposed to love us, that's supposed to show up for us by birthright, by marital right, by commitment right, by whatever right that they've told you that they're going to show up for you. And they don't. And they continually don't. They'll even flip the tables on you and accuse you of horrible things that you know are not true. The challenge in this is that when they flip the tables and they say that we're doing terrible, awful, evil things, sometimes we need to be realistic that that could be an admission of their own actions, their own behavior. They are deflecting from their own guilt and shame that they are likely incapable of fully feeling or recognizing for anything more than that momentary hook to get you back when they apologize for something that they've been caught and evidenced into. Their inability to be a truthful, honest person feels horrible to us. And we chase it and we try to fix it and we try to evidence it. And we have 200 possible outcomes and 200 possible solutions, probably more. But that is us chasing a reality that is only proving and only showing up to destroy us, instead of us choosing to see what it is, to see the reality of what's being put in front of us. I remember a few years ago, I was devastated, because I was losing everything that I had been promised, everything that I had worked so hard for, and that I had shown up for in an extraordinary way of giving of myself. But what was really happening as I was seeing the person in front of me for who they really were, for the most that they could be, what was really happening and the pain that I was experiencing as I woke up and realized my codependent tendencies, it really was about me. Like, the pain was really about me finding me and being incredibly disappointed with how much I had chased, how much I had overshown up, how much I had over-delivered all my survival mechanisms. The realization of those survival mechanisms brought me to my knees. It crippled me. And that needn't be our reality. We needn't give over all of our sense of developing self to somebody else, or to this idea, like feeding this idea that we've been nurturing since birth, likely in some way, shape, or form, that we're not good enough. That isn't how our soul is meant to speak to us. That isn't why we were born. We weren't born to be on this world and feed the idea, extinguish our own flame of not being enough. The interesting thing is, if we're accidentally, or maybe the universe on purpose, depending on how we want to look at it, are born to a narcissist, born to an unhealthy environment, born to an abuser, born to an addict, it really is about the moment where we pivot and we grab onto our sense of self for the first time ever, for ourselves. And that we decide, just for a moment, I am going to give myself the glimpse of what it would look like if I fully showed up for me. If I lit my own candle's light and I fanned it and I just, allowed it to grow and to feed. instead of putting all my worth, all my sense of self, all of my effort, all of my beauty, all of my specialness, all my uniqueness in the hands of others. And since we seek out what we know, because we tend to not like the uncomfortable, we're going to continually put our worth in the hands of people who replicate what we were born into or what we were trained into. And I am, honest to God, I am proof that we can unlearn those survival mechanisms and we can choose a different life. We can choose to show up for ourselves. We do not have to give all of our worth to somebody who cannot show up for us, who cannot choose us, who cannot see us. And I'm not talking about a little tiny bit of us. I mean, all of us, all of our unique, beautiful, special things that we embody to be the person that we are. I hope that today you choose to show up for you in a way that is new. And maybe it's literally just setting the phone down instead of wondering why somebody hasn't messaged you back. Control and manipulation. I hope that you step back from a relationship that makes your gut feel icky. If somebody is making you feel icky about yourself, that's a major red flag. And I hope that you step away from that. And I hope that you give yourself a moment to celebrate what you just did, because it was courageous to set the phone down, step away from a conversation where you are not being chosen and valued. We can only, it's so hard to take this in the beginning when you are first beginning to break free of abuse, but we don't deserve the abuse. We don't deserve to be ghosted. We don't deserve to be gaslighted. We do not deserve. And just because these people are people that you know and that you're supposed to love and they're supposed to love and cherish you means nothing. It means nothing. They hook you to a continual cycle of feeding their ego and their own needs through that obedience, that conditioned response to show up, to over show up, to over participate, to over give, to please. So today, your task today is simply to take one step, one tiny little step, even if it's that you get out your journal book. I don't have a journal book handy, but if you get out your journal book and you literally just write, I deserve better. That's enough of a step for today. That is something to celebrate. Planting seeds that will grow. That's where it all begins. Dismantling generational trauma is not a one and done. It is planting seeds, watering seeds, ripping out the weeds, and growing a whole new garden that you've never experienced before. And when you begin to experience it in here, that's when you know that your life is truly beginning to change. I'm Nita Kruger. This is Infinity Within Coaching. Thanks for stopping by today, and I look forward to talking to you again. Get that journal out, say no, set the phone down, step back, celebrate you. Go stand in front of the mirror. Just one quick last minute coaching thought. Go stand in front of the mirror and honest to God, just say, I am worthy of more. I am worthy of more. I am worthy of being chosen. I am worthy of somebody giving a flying fuck at how my emotional self feels. Because people who cannot hold space for your emotional hurt, joy, pain, chaos, excitement, exuberance, That's not the only thing they can't hold space for. There's a lot more going on. And when you start getting honest with yourself about all those things that are going on, life's going to level out. You're going to start to feel happiness and contentment. And you'll have some pretty good boundaries, right? So stick around, hit that follow button, share this forward with somebody who you think could benefit from this conversation. And let's continue to show up for ourselves and create a community where we celebrate that. I'm Nita Kruger. Have a fabulous, boundaried, successful day that celebrates you.